Eric was undermined by the North Tower and what was the name of the guy that was the program director at the time?
Was it Bill Bush or Harvey Schiller?
No.
Bob Dew?
No. I'll think of it.
Bill Shaw?
No, it wasn't Bill Shaw. He was the head of Turner Entertainment. I think him and Eric had gotten into like a pissing contest, and they actually thought they knew as much as Eric, and probably decided, they never probably clapped Eric's back when he was doing well, but because they could take credit for it too. But when it was down, they couldn't take credit for it. So they said, well, we got to start the slate clean. And maybe if we get rid of Eric, we'll buy some time. Yeah.
Eric has said, like kind of jokingly, but that he wishes he was better with the corporate guys when he looks back at it, like kind of saying, like, I was kind of being like a young punk, or they didn't know anything, and they don't know shit, but I know the stuff. But they're taught, like you said, they're acting like they know. Do you think that he could have been better corporately? Just maybe he put on the suit and tie and be not a kiss ass, but just be kind of a flunky.
We all could have been. We were the redheaded stepchilds. I got nothing against people with red hair. We were the redhead stepchilds, but we owned that company. So we were all they all got suit and ties on, and we're all going to the office on the 13th floor. Believe it or not, they had a 13th floor in Turner's building. We were going to the 13th floor with our jeans and T-shirts on. Come on, we weren't being corporate. You know what I mean? And then Hogan comes in with a bandana. I mean, in a bulk, a bulk shirt where his arms are, look like mountains, and it was just we were full of ourselves, and I'm sure Eric feels that way. He could have played the game with them, but in another respect, he was doing so well. Screw them.
To me, they're just the corporate structure, especially after reading the Nitro book by Guy Evans, the corporate structure and like the way they thought of WCW, and some of the way they handled the books is just disgraceful as far as the way they treated WCW. It's almost like you guys were better off getting TV rights and having a TV deal with some other separate company than dealing with them and their production team and dealing with the North Tower.
And the production team, the basic production team that came with us every show was excellent. But then they would pick up these other people, like freelancers.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they went for the lowest paid people because none of them carried their weight. I mean, and this is no knock, they're probably interns and, people just learning. Well, you don't just learn on a multi-million-dollar job per week. So, yeah.
True. So Bischoff is gone here. Does that change creative at all?
Puts a lot more pressure on us.
Do you have to make changes, though? Do you like, Bischoff wanted it this way, but we're going to change it because he's no longer here?
Yeah, Kevin was very good. He didn't panic. He called us all back and said, let's see what we can do here. He knew that the water had reached first class by that time. It had gone from steerage up to first class, and the people in steerage were drowned. We were going to be next, and he knew. I think Kevin knew, and I think a lot of us knew that at this period, if they got rid of Eric, we might have been seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's a locomotive coming at us.
Man, it was crazy to even be a fan at that point. Like, wait, Eric Bischoff, the guy who beat Vince McMahon, the only guy ever to do it, the genius behind the NWO and like all this other stuff. Like, wow, he's gone. Like, how could he be fired? Like, you would think he'd be not in the Vince position because obviously he doesn't own the company, but you would think he'd have that right where it's like this guy can't be fired. I guess nobody is infallible or whatever. Everybody can be fired, but it just seemed like from an outsider looking in, like there's no way you could fire that guy. He beat Vince 83
Yeah, but
weeks, all this other stuff.
they were taking credit too in the North Tower because over there, Harvey Schiller knew nothing.